everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Hunkydory, I've got 3 Prism World of Color metallic waxes. We've got silver, gold, and copper, and we've paired it with this fantastic 3D embossing folder and cutting die. This one's called Floral Heart by Lisa Horton Crafts, and look at this amazing card that my friend Debbie made with it. Absolutely beautiful. This is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. So let's first take a look at this fantastic cutting die. It's so beautiful with all these deep impressions. It's got beautiful florals and vines going around on this black version, and then this is the one in the white. It's absolutely fantastic. And then this is what it looks like if you don't use the cutting die part right here, okay? Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I did want to show you probably the best way to work with the cutting die, and then we'll get on to coloring with the waxes. But you want to take the cutting die and use it, of course, on your paper using a die cutting machine, and then using a heavy weight. So I'm using 110-pound weight cardstock, and we have this in black, white, and craft color, I believe. And then we're just taking a little mister with just clean water in it, and we're just going to mist that, you know, about this far away. Okay, you're not trying to get this paper or the cardstock wet. You just want to get it a little damp. And then you're going to place this like this inside the folder. And then what I did was I just aligned the die cut image with the image on the folder. Just like this. You want to make sure everything is kind of got a place to land on the die cut. Just like that. And once you're happy with where everything is aligned, in fact, oops, move it over a little bit. All right, then you're going to take this, and it's 6 inches this way, but it's 5 and I think 3/4 this way. So it can get through a 6-inch wide die cutting machine, embossing machine just fine. It's just going to go through just like that. And then when you get it, when you're all done with that, you're going to get an image like this, okay, with those nice deep impressions. Here's the thing, if you die cut this shape after, so if you did this, okay, through your die cutting machine, and then you put this over the die cut, over the embossed image in this order, it's still going to work, but you're going to get a flattened version. So look at the impression. That's the difference. All right, so you want to die cut your image, give it a little mist, then put it in the embossing folder, as opposed to embossing it and then die cutting it. Okay, because when you die cut it, you have to run it through your embossing machine, which is a giant roller, which flattens out your image. So it will work. If you get it out of order and you make a mistake, still a perfectly usable image, but the difference is, I think, pretty substantial. All right, so yeah, that's the fantastic cutting die, embossing folder and cutting die. Now let's take a look at these waxes, and I'm going to get out my craft mat. And I'm going to show you some tips that my friend Debbie showed me, because she did the majority of these projects. So the first thing is, she said it's really nice to just go ahead and use your fingertip. Okay, if you want to put a latex glove on or rubber glove on, that's great, but using your fingertip is great. You'll notice they're going to look really nice on the white cardstock, but they really pop on the black. All right, so let's start off with some gold, right? And we're just going to put it on like that. And then just keeping your finger just kind of flat, you're going to just rub it like this over the surface of all of those little embossed images. You don't want to get too much on your finger. You don't want to, let me show you an example of too much. All right, so if you can like see a little lump of stuff on there, that's too much. So I would, if I accidentally got too much, I would just put it on my craft mat and then utilize it from there. Okay, so you just want enough that you can just sort of rub that on there And if you get too much on your finger, when you press it down on here, it can fill in on those little indentations, and we don't want that. Okay, and then I'm just going to take just a little moistened towelette, anything like that, just to wipe it right off, okay? So it is water soluble, it will come right off. Then we're going to take these little microfiber craft towels. They're microfiber cloths. You get 5 of these in the pack, and they're enormous. Look how big they are. You use these for lots of things. Look at that. Okay, they're from Hunkydory. You get your little Hunkydory tag on there. But then what you are going to do is, and I recommend using one of these for each color, okay, so you're not transferring color. This is the gold one. You're just going to take it like this, and then you're just going to buff it. And for I don't know why it works so well. When you buff it, it really makes that shine like that. Isn't that amazing what that does? Okay, so let's take a look at copper and silver so you can just get the look of the colors, and then we're going to do it on the black. So see, the copper just really, really pops that brown color. And this is, you know, pretty much the technique that Debbie used on this card. She used some copper here, 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 kind of on the blossoms, some silver on the blossoms, and then the gold is sort of going everywhere else. And on the black, it just looks very, what did I do? I used gold when I was using copper. Oh, okay, pay attention, Lene. All right, and then can just go ahead. I even think it looks cool when you kind of quadrant things off like this. Now we're going to do the silver. I would say the silver is the most difficult to see on the white, but it still shows up like really well. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and then just taking your towel, buffing, and then either use a completely different spot on your towel or use a different towel to make sure you're not transferring colors. Okay, there we go. Now, get ready for the stunner on the black. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna start like Debbie did. I'm gonna like do the gold at the end. She told me she did the gold at the end. All right, so here's the copper. That on the blossoms. I'm not going to be as careful about it as Debbie was. And then right there as well. And then the silver. Like looking over to what Debbie did on hers so I can get the placement pretty close. And then a little bit right here. And then over here. I think I got it. Okay. And then we're going to go to the gold. Okay, and then I think the gold shows up really nicely. Do all of this down here. And then along this edge of the heart as well. I think I'm just going to take the time to do 1/2 of this though. Okay, and now I'm going to take my cloth And then just burnish all of the copper. And then silver. And then the gold. All right. Oh, look at how that looks. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so you can definitely see the difference in how it pops. Completely different looks on both of those. So let's take a look again at this 6x6 card that Debbie made. For her background paper, first of all, she made her card out of black 12x12 cardstock. And then she used 6x6 golden botanical patterned cardstock, absolutely beautiful. And she used this one right here that has sort of a wreath around the outside, which left her a perfect spot to put this heart. Around the corners, she added, this is, oh, I forget the name of this one, coil corners, black coil corners, dazzle stickers here and here. And then she used sympathy dazzle stickers, which come in this large collection with all these different colors. And we call them sympathy because there is like with deepest sympathy, but then there's also like my heart is with you, you're in my thoughts. And then there's with loving thoughts, with deepest sympathy. And we find that we can use them for other things besides typical use for them. So with loving thoughts, with deepest sympathy, all the way around, just such a beautiful, beautiful card. This is our giveaway card, so I'm going to tell you some more about cards and then I'm going to come back and tell you about our giveaway. All right, so I'm going to put that right there so I don't forget. Jeanette, don't let me forget. Then I wanted to show you this card, which is the one I made using the white with the gold wax on it. And I used happy anniversary dazzle stickers that come in this beautiful collection. Okay, all the colors, and it comes with multiple fonts on them, which is very nice. And then I just made a Z-fold card. So if you've not made one of these before, they've been around for a long time and they're super fun to make because they're kind of elaborate looking, but my favorite thing is that they're so easy. So I took a 5x6.5 inch card and I used my scoreboard to score the card front only at 2.5 inches. So you're opening this up and then you're scoring right here down the front of the card at 2.5 inches, folding this over and then just using the little bone folder right here. So it's got this shape going on. Then I took a piece of 10-inch by oh gosh, did I do 1.5 or 1.25? 1.25 inch wide cardstock by 10 inches long. And then I folded it in half. So now that's 5 inches with a fold. And then you're going to fold one of these pieces, okay, in half again. So it's got this shape going on. All right, and then actually we're going to turn it over. And then once you get your card decorated, then you're going to glue this right here and right here only. Okay, and you can glue it up here, you can glue it down here, you can glue it all the way to the bottom, whichever you like best. You can glue it at the top, but this sort of just keeps everything together. I glued it just about 1/4 inch from the bottom of the card, right here, and that way when they open the card up, they get this special presentation. And then I foam taped this heart just to the front of the card. Just some foam tape right there, stuck that down. And then I went ahead and I took the same metallic gold cardstock. This one comes in a 3-pack. And I just cut it down to the size of the embossing folder. And because not all metallic cardstocks will work in an embossing machine, this kind has a paper back to it, okay? So you want to mist this paper back and then put it in the die cutting machine, and then you'll get a really nice embossed image. If you find that your gold metallic paper is cracking or something like that in between the little embossed places, it's just too much pressure. So you want to take off one of the shims, you want to just do it a little bit less when you're embossing that. I glued that to the back of the card, and then I took more gold, metallic gold cardstock, and I cut it just to fit on panels there. And then I used this gold pearl fancy border dazzle sticker, and it just peels off so nicely, and I just added that, just a length here, here, and here. There you go. Just a really, I think a really pretty anniversary card. You could use this for lots of different occasions. All right, it doesn't have to be a 50th anniversary either. All right, let's see now, what have I got to show you? Oh yes. So we wanted to show you what it would look like if you took, this is a 6.5 by 5 inch card, and Debbie used, whoops, our Steampunk collection for this one, you guys. So she used this green paper with gears on it from the 6 by 6 pattern cardstock from Steampunk for Everyone. And she just put a little bit of the solid cardstock on each end. And then she actually folded this piece of paper in half. And then you can tell there's a little seam right there. And, oh, actually she didn't fold it, she cut it in half. And then she went ahead and, oh, you know what, I know what she did. She told me she did this and I forgot. So she took the paper, the green paper, she put it in the embossing folder and she embossed the heart. Then she cut the heart in half, now I'm remembering. And she went ahead and added the copper color wax to this. And then she glued one half of the heart on this side and the other half of the heart on this side. That's why you can see just the tiniest little seam right here. Okay, and then she covered that seam by using the chipboard and really fantastically colored this lion chipboard. Is so beautiful with the gold wax here and then the copper around the edges and the silver right here. Just beautiful. And then this right here is actually from the Delightful Dimensions For My Guy, the gears cutting die, and she did that out of the brown cardstock, and then she added just a little wax to that as well and made it shimmer. And then here she added foam taped this border and then glued this die cut sentiment from the coordinating die cuts. So yeah, she did a beautiful job. As you can see, she like foam taped these gears and then foam taped the chipboard as well. Fantastic card, Debbie. All right, I've got a last one here, and this is another one that Debbie made. Just showing you what else you can do with this. So this is a 6 by 6 card, and then Debbie used our corner rounder, which I forgot to grab, on the corners here. But then she took she used our new Mystical Florals 12 by 12 patterned cardstock, but she primarily used the coordinating solid cardstock. She used 3 different colors here. Actually, she used 2 different colors here. The purple, okay, is from the cardstock, and then matted with blue, and then she took the cutting dies here, the square scalloped cutting dies, and she just made different sort of little windows. So like she took the largest scallop die and die cut the same purple cardstock that's on the outside edge with the straight line square so that she got a window, okay? And then she used the silver on top of that, and look how it changes the color. Like here it is without the silver, here it is with the silver, and it's pearlized now. Isn't that really cool? And then she just made multiple frames, glued those together. She used some of the patterned cardstock as her background. And then I'm trying to figure out which one she used for the background, but you can't really see it very much. I think she used this one. And then this is the cutout from the collection of sentiments, and glued that to the center. And look how different that looks from just the regular cardstock. So many uses for this, you guys. This wax is amazing stuff. So let me grab one of these. Kind of got them all over the table. Here we go. So yes, definitely check out this wax. Have some fun playing with it. I think it's really fun and really a versatile product. Want to also tell you about the card giveaway. That's right. So not only do we have a fantastic money saver right there on the wax and the cutting die, so definitely check that out. All the other items are listed down below the video in the description box. If you're watching us over on Paper Wishes YouTube channel, then just look below the video and you'll see a link that will take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. And on to the giveaway card. How this works is we're promoting that Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on our paperwishes.com webisode page, just hop on over to YouTube. Our channel on YouTube is called My Paper Wishes. We ask that you subscribe to our channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and then after about a week, we'll reply to one of the comments by saying, congratulations, YouTube username blank. So you do have to know your YouTube username, and it's basically what labeled your comment. So you could just go back and look at your comment to give yourself a little refresher. We give you instructions on how to claim your card, but it's a good idea to hit that notification bell at the top right-hand corner so you will know when we're making a card winner announcement and also when we're launching new videos. So don't forget to participate in that. We love a card giveaway every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos. When I'm hosting, I love to do a card giveaway. Thanks for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.